There's something happening here, and what it is episode 6 of A Little Something from Jason Sims. I like doing this thing and the other little silly things I do online, but really, deep down, I want something more. I want to be one of the dreamsmiths, the culture turges, the myth merchants, and I don't even know if those are real terms that anyone uses because I'm not well read. But what I mean to say is, I want to make TV shows, okay? And it's hard to get into the TV show making business from here in Huntsville, Alabama. We're not known for making TV programs here. We're known for making space programs. But I'm not mathy enough to help with any of that, so I don't know why I even said it in a braggy tone, because I ain't got nothing to do with it. So here's what I'm going to do. For the rest of this episode, I'm going to pitch some fancy, big-time prestige TV shows. So very quickly, here are the channels that I'm interested in working with. HBO, Showtime, Stars, AMC, the Paramount Network, FX, FXX, Netflix, Hulu, Amazon Prime Video, YouTube Red, Snapchat, NBC, CBS, Fox, ABC, the CBC, the BBC, BBC America, or gas station TV. Basically anybody. Oh, there's one channel that I refuse to work with. It's Dollhouse TV. They give away these tiny flat screen TVs that your child can put in their Barbie dream house, and it shows programming that's aimed at Barbies, but ads that are aimed at the kids playing with the Barbies, and I think that's just wrong. So no thank you, Dollhouse TV, unless the money is really, really good. Anyway, here are the show pitches. Show number 1. This is called Ursa Major. Cold open on a sheriff driving up to a house, and he can just kind of tell that things aren't right. So he tells his rookie deputy, to stay in the police jeep or whatever it is that they have up in Alaska. So he enters the house, and it's really tense. He's creeping around, and he creeps to the kitchen, and it's dark except for the light from the refrigerator, which is wide open, and there's been food spilled out everywhere. And he hears something in the pantry. And so he slowly moves toward the pantry, and then surprise, a big old bear jumps out. So he runs to another room, and then boom, another bear. And as he moves through the house, both to escape bears and try to find people, he just keeps running into bears. And he runs next door, and then that house has bears in it, but no people. So he figures the bears must have eaten all the people. So he runs back to his police jeep or whatever, and then, hold on, there's a bear in there too. And his deputy's gone. Cut to opening credits. Now that's exciting, right? That's good television. So over the first season, they try to hunt these bears and trap them, but they can't. They're super smart, and they seem like they're up to something. And then we kind of string people along, like for as long as we can string them along, but we'll kind of monitor the message boards and Twitter and stuff. And then once people just can't stand it anymore, we'll slowly reveal that the people in Major are descendants of these Russians who were banished there by the Tsar back when Russia owned Alaska. And they were banished there because they're werebears, which is like a werewolf except a bear. And once they left Russia, they stopped changing, so they just kept it a secret from their descendants. But now they're changing again, and we don't know why. Well, in the season finale, the sheriff is tracking these giant bird tracks that have been showing up around the town, and they end at this little wooden hut in the middle of the woods. And he'll go up there like he's going to knock on the door, and then all of a sudden, the hut rises up in the air, and it's like standing on these giant chicken legs, right? And it runs around a little bit, and then it stops, and the door flies open, and this crazy looking old woman pops out, and she goes, "I'm Baba Yaga. I rule the bears." So it's her, Baba Yaga. She's from Eastern European folklore. Anyway, she's making them turn into bears. And I don't know why yet, but I'll figure it out. But isn't that creepy? Isn't that weird? Isn't that Russian? Okay, it's not very good. Look, I'm just warming up. Pitch 2. This is called Minor Shiners. So this show is set in Prohibition era West Virginia, and there are these brothers who are dirt poor, but they're, still really good looking. And they're from a long line of coal miners, and they're working in this mine, and then the mine goes dry. Do mines go dry? Do they go fallow? Anyway, there ain't no coal no more, and they close the mine down. Oh, also, there's this fanatical sheriff who has shut down all the moonshiners in the whole county. So basically, that's the whole economy. So these good-looking brothers, they all sneak back into the mine, and they're able to start making moonshine in there because they have figured out how to grow this weird white corn called ghost corn that will grow in the dark, and it makes super potent moonshine. Like everybody that drinks it just like loses their mind and loves it. So everybody's trying to get it. Oh, and even though it's back in the 20s, like people are doing all kinds of crazy stuff and like violent stuff and like stuff people do today, even though they didn't do stuff like that back in the 20s. It's kind of a commentary on now in a very subtle way, but you'll get it when you see it. So like the brothers are fighting the sheriff and the other shiners are fighting the brothers. Then eventually the brothers will be fighting each other. And there'll be like this EDM / bluegrass soundtrack playing. And that's Minor Shiners. And we can put some bears in it, too. If you like the bears from before. But they'll just be bears, not werebears. Because this is a heightened reality. But it's still a much more grounded reality. And I don't like this one either. Okay. Pitch 3. This one's called Identify Myself. So there's this guy who's like super meticulous and he's done everything right in his life. He has like perfect credit and, he's got a family and he's a real Mr. Dad type. In fact, for the purposes of this pitch, we'll just call him Mr. Dad. And he's been targeted by all these identity thieves. And he's kind of like this white whale, like none of them can ever get him because he always spots the scams. But finally, this one scammer, like the best scammer in the world, gets him. And he does it in some way that's like really poetic and uses Mr. Dad's meticulous ways against him. And I hadn't figured that out yet, but when I do, it's going to be awesome. And then the scammer just cleans him out. And Mr. Dad is like so embarrassed about that. And he doesn't want his family and friends to know. And he can't, get a loan anywhere else because his credit's ruined. So he gets involved with this loan shark and borrows all this money. And he can't pay it back. So the loan shark gets him. And just about the time the loan shark's really about to mess him up, Mr. Dad breaks down. He starts crying. And he talks about this guy that scammed him. And to make a long plot short, it turns out that the loan shark knows the guy that scammed him because the guy that scammed Mr. Dad owes the loan shark all his money. But the loan shark can't touch him because the scammer's uncle is like this big Russian mobster or something. So what the loan shark does, he makes this deal with Mr. Dad. He says, look, if you go kill this scammer for me, I'll cancel your debt and I'll even kick you a little money so you can kind of get reestablished and get your life back. And, Mr. Dad, he kind of struggles with this, and finally he decides he doesn't really have another choice. So he's able to kind of trick the scammer and kind of get him where he wants him. And just about the time that Mr. Dad is about to mess the scammer up, the scammer tries to make him a better deal. He says, look, I'll teach you how to steal identities, and then you'll make more than enough money to pay off the shark. In fact, you'll even be richer than what you started with because we're going to make so much money. But the best thing is that if you're working with me, my Russian mobster uncle will protect you from the shark, so you won't even have to worry about him. And so Mr. Dad reluctantly agrees to do that. And oh, by the way, all of this that I just said happens in the pilot. So it's either going to have to happen real fast or it's going to have to be a 3-hour pilot. I'm open to either. So over the first season, Mr. Dad gets really good at scamming, and he and the scammer go through all these dangerous situations, and they bond and become friends. And Mr. Dad starts to really like it, and it's not even really about the loan shark anymore. And we don't even mention the loan shark anymore after a while. We just stop talking about him. But For the season finale, the Russian mobster uncle gets killed by a bear. So now the loan shark can come after both of them. And he has this corrupt, fanatical sheriff under his thumb that he sends after him. And I don't know about this now. I don't like this. I think it's all the bears and the sheriffs. I don't know why I keep putting these bears and sheriffs in there. Look, I know these stink, but I just got to get out of here. Okay? I love Alabama. It's home, but I have been here for almost half a century. And, I just got to get out there. I just got to see the world, before it's too late. And calm down. I'm calm. I'm being calm. I'm focusing on solutions, not problems. Solutions, not problems. Solutions. Okay. One more pitch. This one is called Just Get Me Out of Here, okay? It's a reality show where somebody comes and they get me out of Alabama and they take me to somewhere exciting where nobody knows me and I just have a blank slate, and then they just take care of me until I burn all my bridges with that person and with everyone they know. And then someone else will just come and take me somewhere else and I'll do it again. And then we'll just keep doing that till I go through every state in the union, and then we can go through all the provinces of Canada, and then we'll just burn through every English-speaking country, because I'm not going to learn another language at this point in my life. And by that time, I'll be tired of it, and I'll be ready to come home. That's it. That's the one I'm going with. Look, somebody cut this section out of the episode and put it on Mark Burnett's Zune. I'm done talking now.